In the last section of engaging your audience online, we talked about must-haves for law firm marketing with any sort of level of engagement. Those included things like relational content. They included things like the ability to centrally manage content and a couple of targeted marketing applications like recruiting sites, like alumni sites. Now we're going to talk about some additional enhancements. More targeted and more integrated in terms of the way that they approach their markets. So what we're seeing from firms today is a much more easy use of blogs. So these are blogs like the Perkins Coie blog, which is a topical mini site really, but one that's been picked up by a number of media sources and has actually gotten the firm significant press to work with. Here's another example, Edwards Angel Palmer and Dodge Insurance and Reinsurance site. Again, these are really just topical mini sites. The expectation on these particular sites, though, is that they will be updated very frequently. So if you look at a lot of these, you'll see multiple updates per day. In fact, this one right here, 2 updates on August 9th, the time that I actually took this screen capture, 2 updates from the previous day on August 8th, and that's really the expectation for a blog, is its frequency. Another thing that's a much more enhanced mini site with a slightly different expectation is just the continued proliferation of mini sites in general. Think about when we looked at the Accenture landing page. Remember, they didn't just drop into an Accenture practice group page when you clicked on outsourcing. What happened is you actually went to an Accenture mini site that presented a lot of contextual information and value for anybody that was really interested in that practice. Great example is something like the DLA Venture Pipeline, and there are other firms that are doing this as well. DLA's Venture Pipeline seeks to bring together entrepreneurs and investors and create a marketplace really for bringing those two together in a way that fundamentally helps both, where they create community through this area that is different from the rest of their site, not just a practice group page. And then the things that you see in the background are other things that we're beginning to see now much more as they start to develop more of a sense of corporate social responsibility and requirements around pro bono. You look at the DLA World Pro Bono Initiative on one hand there, and the rest of their pro bono side over there on the other side. And what we're seeing is much more around the development of mini sites relating to cause marketing. And then the other side that we've seen is much more around client service. We've seen the development of sites like the Addleshaw Goddard site, which really seeks to provide a whole set of value-added services that you get in virtue of being a client of Addleshaw Goddard. Now, this Client Development Center was really the brainchild of marketing at Addleshaw Goddard, but has really become the standard in the UK in terms of the ways to deal with and present valuable information to their clients. So they provide training, surveys of general counsel, and additional resources to their clients online through the Client Development Center, reaching out and engaging with their clients. And then, of course, firms are now using different ways beyond just email marketing and email newsletters to present this information. Wilmer Hale was one of the first movers in terms of using RSS feeds on their website. Today, nearly every website that we develop has RSS feeds. One thing you see there in the middle of the page there is the ability to subscribe to a podcast, which is getting to be something that more firms are trying. Osler was one of the first firms to use podcasts a couple of years ago. They now have a huge number of podcasts on their site. Essentially, these are audio, downloadable, and subscribable recordings that you can listen to when you're driving to work, when you're taking a run, or whatever it is that you want to do to get an update from Osler in this case. But podcasts really around value-added content are becoming much more common on the sites we're working on today. And then we're seeing the proliferation of the use of events as content. So in some cases, firms will just list the events that they go to, or perhaps put a description. Foley is a master at using an event as content, and we're seeing more firms go in this direction, where this is their Bio 2007 convention site, for example. Now, of course, they've got the general description of what it is that you can find from Foley at the Bio convention, but they also have articles of interest, related information, they have related practices, related people, the ability to sign up and attend similar events, And then actually something that's sort of interesting here, kind of a frequent flyer sort of a program, the ability to redeem a music gift certificate that you actually would get from Foley at the convention. Now what they've done is they've taken an event which could be something that happens once and then is over, and they've turned it into something that provides content to their website, rich content for people who are interested in this type of content, who are interested in this topic, and that lives on far beyond the event itself. And then site search. We're seeing much more smart use of site search throughout websites. It used to be that law firm websites would simply dump all of the site search contents just in one long list. What we're seeing today is smarter use of categorization, like you see here on the Skadden site, where you've got news, attorneys, and practices, and even some ordering within the search results that's not really just the result of the searching itself. We're also seeing aggregated search results where you're pulling together information from a variety of different sources, putting that on a single page, and in this case you run a search and what you're getting back is general content, but in the upper right there you're getting videos, and you can actually identify those videos based on the way that they show up on the page, searching across different sites. Law firms are using that same type of functionality to search across multiple sites, search across a main website, search across blogs, search across all the different sites that they're posting up there. You take a firm like Sutherland, for example. Sutherland's got 25 different sites when you take all the mini sites and blogs. It's a great opportunity for aggregated search, providing people with the ability from one place to find all that content. And then we're really seeing, as I mentioned before, movement in terms of search engine optimization and search engine marketing. $9.4 billion spent in 2006 in search engine marketing, 86% of that in paid search, which means paid advertisements or placements on things like Google AdWords. Only 12% spent on search engine optimization. I would argue, however, that the optimization is much more valuable for firms. Really, here's why. So the difference between marketing and optimization, I think, can be summed up here. The links that you see on the top and on the right-hand side, those are paid advertisements, essentially, based on keywords that you put in. In this case, I put in insurance. Those are search engine marketing links. The top, what we call organic links, which appear below those first ones up there. Now again, the Accenture example, that was search engine marketing. But the top organic links are optimized search results. What that means is that they've configured their site, they've put content in their site in such a way that it produces better search results naturally. And those search results actually end up providing much better bang for the buck in terms of appearance. A user is 6 times more likely to click on an organic result than they are to click on a paid result. And I think you know why. That's probably your example, your experience as well. The fact is, when it's paid, you don't know if that content is really what you're looking for. If it's organic, if it appears there because of the content in the page, then you're much more likely to find what you're looking for. One thing, I just want to go back on this page and show you a couple of other things. If you look at that first one here, again, our keyword that we put in was insurance. You know, if you want to do some sort of basic search engine optimization, think of 3 things. Now you can do things like there's all these linking campaigns and all those types of things, but fundamentally, the most important thing for you to do is get the keywords that you are interested in finding, keywords that you're interested in having people find your site based on, appear in 3 places. In the title of the page, Compare Auto Insurance, right? In the body copy of the page, America's #1 online insurance agency. And if at all possible, if there's a way to do it, in the URL itself. So that could be lawfirm.com/antitrust. And if you can have that appear in the title, in the body, and in the URL itself, that's really the key to optimized results. Okay, so those are enhancements. In the next section, what we're going to look at is some ways that firms are starting to use, and some of these are going to be law firms, some not law firms, starting to use these new technologies in a more cutting-edge way to engage online.